All right, Arvin, we're back for another video. Today, we've got a new, well, not a new topic, but an important topic because there have been some updates on Amazon. And these are things actually I don't have the answers to, so I'm going to ask you. And that's we're talking about size normalization, the size normalization policy update. So I guess the first question
Mhm.
is, what is that? What's changed on Amazon?
Well, I mean, right now, I mean, I also have very little information about that one. The only thing that I know is that right now, changing the size information of your product is getting harder and harder to resolve. Like, how important it is, like these sizes, especially if you have your listing in variation, and if
Mhm.
Amazon incorrectly sometimes it's incorrectly put a size name in there, or maybe a hijacker like edit your listing in the past, and now that you are putting it in the variation, you can't because there's like an existing contribution there that you cannot correct. So that's a very big issue for a variation, because you probably will just confuse the customer, or maybe that customer will not buy it because it's not the variation that they're looking for.
So,
Another thing.
quick
Go ahead.
question. So, are we talking specifically about sizes as they pertain to variations? Like if I'm selling a t-shirt, I've got XL, sorry, XL, large, medium, small. Those would be my variations in the sizes. Or are we talking about like package dimension sizes?
Yeah, like those information, size and the
Variations?
package, like
Oh,
everything about the
anything
sizes.
pertaining to sizing. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Because sometimes also even the flavor information, or anything about the, I think it's also applies to the variation theme, but yeah, don't quote me on that one. Just that I
Amazon's made it
noticed
just
right now.
Amazon's just
Hmm.
made it a lot more challenging to make the changes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And what are
Yes.
the
This.
workarounds, I guess?
Yeah. Just to add more information before workaround is the reason why it's really important to address is because there's sometimes on the back end that Amazon will automatically calculate the unit count for or like, for example, the price of your product is 39.99, and then it will, on the detail page, it will divide it by the fluid ounce, or maybe by the milligrams, and then it will have this information about 0.99 per milligram or something. And if your product is not consistent, like, especially if you're in variation, then that might just confuse the customer. And updating those on the back end is really important to make sure that, yeah, you have a very consistent detail page and variation. So the workaround is basically just the same thing. It's just harder to get it resolved. So again, through flat file, uploading and deleting and relisting the listing, and then providing proofs to Amazon, like the images, maybe even on the packaging that kind of categorize the variation of the product. It is clearly showing in there, like how big this item should be, like what's the milligrams, or maybe
Yeah.
the like any variation theme information, and then the manufacturer website, and then just be consistent with the following up with seller support. You're gonna say
Yeah.
something?
Well, I was just gonna say, so yeah, I mean, like anything, first of all, Amazon, the more accurate your listing is, the better. That then you're gonna have less returns, less problems. So obviously, that's why this is important. Two, we know
Hmm.
that it's already been challenging to make updates to the listing, and this is just another wave of additional challenges. But if you are
Yeah.
setting up a listing, brand new listing, remember it's always easier to set it up the first time the right way, because otherwise you will have to make changes later. So be mindful, I guess, when you're setting up a fresh listing with variations. However, if you already have an
Yeah.
active one, then essentially there's not necessarily like a big workaround or anything like that. Just like most things with
Hmm.
Amazon, at the end of the day, it's just going to take kind of elbow grease and normally a lot of flat file work and probably some cases to seller support to actually get the listing updated. If you're, let's say they're putting the wrong, I think the fluid ounce one's a good example because there's a lot of ones like that. If you're selling something that's a liquid product or something where it's miscalculating the dollar amount or what have you. And then, if you got a small, medium, and large, normally you'd expect that you're getting more bang for your buck on the large size. But sometimes if it's set
Yeah.
up wrong, it might show actually the medium's better, which is not a great thing to have because you want your customer, your
Yeah.
AOV to be higher. So that's kind of, I guess, what I'm hearing. Is that accurate? Like pretty much it's just elbow
Yeah.
grease as always to make the change.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, actually, yeah, that you're right. I mean, and the reason why I also want to cover this one is because it's a common issue, and for anyone who's experiencing this one, don't worry. Yeah, like like many sellers are actually having problem updating the backend or the sizes. But yeah, just be consistent on following up with seller support and have a team who will handle this one for you and never give up. You know, especially if you have a legit supporting documents or this really need to be updated. So
Yeah, love it.
yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I think that was a good quick video and it's definitely important information. If anyone watching is having challenges with updating their listing or any kind of issues, reach out or leave a comment under the YouTube video. But I'm sure myself or most likely Arvin can probably give some good guidance or help out there. So Arvin, any final thoughts or comments to add?
Yeah, well, the last thing that I would add is be knowledgeable of the flat file thing, because that's always the workaround to to troubleshoot this kind of issue. Not only any kind of issue related to catalog.
Hmm.
So and you know that Amazon, and it's a separate topic, but Amazon, they have this beta phase that they launch about the flat files, and I'm just really mentioning it right now because kind of relate to this particular issue, like how to troubleshoot this information on the back end. It's always through the flat file. So that's an advice that I could give to every seller. Make sure you know how this the Amazon flat file works, because that would be really useful for your business.
Yeah, love it. Good stuff. All right. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next video. Cheers.